Welcome back to Officer Oil. I'm Scott McAdoo. When I'm not fighting crime, I'm fighting friction. And today I'm doing my second oil change on my new 2025 KTM 300 XC-W HARDENDURO. If you're new to the page, please give me subscribe to help me build the page. I'm looking to grow and expand, and I'd love to have your help. I'm a police officer, and this is what I do. I'm an independent AMSOIL dealer, and this is what I do to support my family outside of police work. So this is my second change. The first change was done at 1 hour per the owner's manual. And now I have 21.8 hours.
Just shy of 22 hours, 21.8. Steele says hi. Hi, Steele.
So I'm doing this change for two reasons. First, I'm super anal with it being a new bike. There might still be some wear metals in there from the transmission and the gears breaking in, and I want to make sure I get all of that out because I plan on having this for quite a while. So I want to just change it, get it all out because it might still be breaking in. So currently I'm running the AMSOIL Dirt Bike 10W-50, and I really like this oil. It's great. But I'm more of a fan for this on the 4-strokes. It can be used safely on the 2-stroke transmissions. It meets the specs, totally fine. But I'm much more of a fan of the dedicated transmission fluid, which is the Dirt Bike 80-weight transmission fluid. I've done a lot of oil analysis if you watch some of my other videos, and I've tested these two head to head. And I personally believe for the transmissions on these bikes or the dedicated 2-strokes, this is the way to go. So I want to use this up. I want to burn this up. I got a little bit left before I'm switching back over to this, and I just was really happy with this in my other 2020 KTM XC-W, and just this is, if I had to pick, this is going to be my number one choice here.
So to easily and quickly see what we recommend for your vehicle, all you got to do is visit my website here, officeroil.com. And by going through that really helps me get credit for anything that you may move forward with if you decide to purchase AMSOIL and upgrade for your bikes or your toys or your cars. So we got the lookup guide for auto truck, motorcycle, ATV, UTV, snowmobile, outboard, personal watercraft, and any heavy duty. So all you got to do is just click on that, and then you can start plugging in your make, model, year, and it'll tell you everything that fits it. Super easy, and it's just click, add the shopping cart, and it even tells you capacity.
So the bike is nice and warm. I went out and spun around, worked my figure eights, worked my circles, get the clutch going there, and so everything's nice and warm. And so before I drain the fluid, I just want to kind of clean up my work area a little bit.
So I'm going to hit things with a quick shot of the AMSOIL Brake Parts Cleaner, and I'm just going to spray the drain plug, which is right here, around the drain plug. Boom, got that, and around the fill plug. And we're going to give that a quick wipe. Now, come back over here with my 13mm socket, and let's get this cracked so I can break the vacuum seal. There we go. There we go. We're just going to let that sit in there, but the seal is broken.
So before I pull the drain plug out and make a mess and dump oil all over my skid plate, I cut out a piece of plastic off of a laundry detergent jug to slide in there and make a little trough so the oil will drain down. Very kind of, crude, but it really does work here. So let me get this thing slid in.
There we go. Just like that. Slides right in. It's at an angle, and it'll run right down into my drain pan. All right, got my 13mm socket. Let's come in here with extension. There we go, got that cracked. And let's take this off. There we go. Let that drain out. So here you go. 20 hours got some color to it, but I'm not seeing any metal or anything like that. So some clutch material here. Take a look at this drain plug. So here is the magnetic drain plug. Take a look. Try to get that to focus a little bit. There we go. So yeah, so just some, I'm not seeing any metal at all. It's just dark. I'd love to analyze this and see, but we're just going to go ahead and replace it. That's it there. We'll let this start dripping out. While we let this drip here and start cleaning up, and I'll just hit the drain plug with some parts cleaner and wipe that off. There we go. There we go. There we go, nice and clean. Old washer and new washer. We'll put that on. There we go.
So just to speed things up a little bit and try to get as much of that old fluid out, I like to give it a little bit of help and just lean that bike over a little bit, and I'll go back and forth and rock it just so I can try to get as much of it out as possible.
There we go. Let's give it a lean. Comes some more. Lean it back the other way. There we go.
Helped a little bit.
All right, let's plug this thing back up. Take that off. Sit there, wipe that off, and then get my plug back in here quick. There we go. Snug it up.
The torque spec on the drain plug is 20 Newton meters.
There we go. There we go. Good there. And then I'll just hit my area here just one more time with a little bit of brake and parts cleaner. That down there. And give it a wipe.
All right, so I'm gonna fill it up with the AMSOIL Dirt Bike 10W-50, all right? Built specifically from the ground up for dirt bikes, for the demands. That's one thing with AMSOIL that AMSOIL does a lot different, is they build everything specific to the application. So this here is going to give you amazing constant clutch feel, help with the gears, help with the engine. Again, this will work in both 4 strokes and well in your wet clutch applications, your wet sump. So it'll lubricate the engine as well as the transmission as well, and the gears. In this case, I'm just running here in the transmission, but it meets that JASO MA spec, okay? So one thing I'd like to mention is, again, if you go to the owner's manual of this KTM, it says to run a 15W50, but the 10W is just going to give us better startup protection in the winter. It's going to flow a little faster, but at operating temp, they're both 50 weights. And again, I've made another video on this, but JASO MA versus MA2, MA2 is much more advantageous on the street because you're going to get that harder shift. Where out in the woods, you're going to be slipping the clutch, and it's a much, much different feel and a different ride out in the woods and the tough terrain than you would be out on a track. So that's why AMSOIL went with the Jasso MA for dirt bikes, because it's built for this application. So the capacity on this is, and it has a little fill level, but I don't like using it because I just feel like there's a chance I'm going to strip it out. So I'm just going to get it right with the measurements. It's 0.85 quarts or just over 27 ounces of fluid.
All right, give it a shake. And let's fill her on up. Get up here, so. All right, we'll get it up to the 18-ounce mark. Liquid gold. There we go. All right, here we go. First 18 ounces of liquid gold. Ah, there it goes every time. Loving it. We'll get that dumped in. All right, let me add the other 9 ounces here. All right, just added the other 9 ounces here. All right, dump in the last little bit here. Ah, there it goes. All right, we'll let that drip in. All right, let's put this high-speed cap back on. In this sexy orange color. And then we'll tighten this up. Just snug that up. There we go.
All right, so that's it. So I've got everything all tightened up, and the plan is I'm going to run it out 40 hours on the dirt bike 10W-50, and then I'll change it out, and I'm going to use up what's left of that. And then I'll be upgrading to the AMSOIL dirt bike transmission fluid and sticking with 40 hours. Again, if you watch my other videos, I've done oil analysis on this, and it was perfectly fine after 40 hours. So I know many of you might be changing oil too often, but I get it. It's inexpensive insurance. Heck, it's only 0.85 quarts, so it's not much. So I get it. And these 2 strokes, that's why I love the maintenance on these, because it is so simple to do. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer like me, turning wrenches, want to give AMSOIL a shot for better wear protection, maximum clutch performance, that maximum clutch feel, and just keep your bikes out there on the trail longer instead of turning wrenches all the time because things are breaking and wearing out. And do DIY, we've got a great program called the Preferred Customer Program. And what it is, and I'll put it down in the description, but it'll save you up to 25% on AMSOIL. They'll drop ship it right to your door. You get access to the entire store. You can do a 1-year annual membership for only $20, or you can test the waters for a 6-month trial just once for only $10. There's almost always a promo, so you spend $100, you get $5 back on your next purchase. If you spend on your birthday month, you'll get a $5 coupon. There's always some cool swag, some hats, some tools, some gear. And if you're big into AMSOIL and you want to get some oil for your diesel oil for your truck, or for your compressor oil, or for your hydrostatic transmission fluid, or whatever, $500, you get the membership for free. So if you own a fleet though, so whether it's a commercial or you're tied to a municipal fleet, we've got an even better program, get you a bigger discount. We can get you up to 40% off of our retail price. So it's a great program, and we can keep that equipment out there. We do a lot more than just dirt bike oil. And there's some info about that in the description as well. Or if you have a repair shop or retail store, we'll help advertise for you. We'll help drive in clients, boost your sales per ticket, be that better option, be that top tier option. So some great options there with bigger discounts as well for you. Or heck, if you try AMSOIL and you want to upgrade, become a dealer like me, help support your family, I'd love to have you on my team. I'd love to be your sponsor dealer. And I'll put some info about that below as well, so I can help you create some extra income and help other people and be that resource. So thank you again for watching. And please, if you have any questions, just comment below. I'd love to hear from you. It helps me boost the channel. I love the questions. And we'll see you next time. Officer Oil, Prost.